I wanted to show you my new paintings. I'm going in a new direction. This year I'm celebrating 30 years as an artist, so I decided to do a series of paintings based on my visit to Monet's garden in Giverny, France. So these particular paintings, these two, are the first that I did. They're based on photos we took while we were actually there. I've always been enchanted with Monet's work and his colors especially. So to actually see what he called his greatest creation, which is the garden, was a very special treat and one that I had been thinking about for quite a while. So when I started on this idea, I knew it was going to be difficult because he loves to cram all these gorgeous plants into very small spaces. But I became enchanted visiting there, not only with the plants but with the pond. He created an enormous pond so he could have lots of water lilies to paint. He had 15 gardeners for the entire estate, and several of them were dedicated to trimming the water lilies into shapes that he liked, and the shape he most preferred was an oval. So you'll see in the paintings that many times there's the curve of at least the top of an oval, where today's gardeners have replicated what was of interest to Monet back then. And they even have records showing exactly which plants were where, and now they know which seasons they bloom, so you can time your visit if you want to. So we happened to be there in June, and there were lots of roses in bloom. He liked to pick out roses that had long canes that like 10 or 20 feet that would spread over the top of an arbor and then gracefully come down into the garden. So both of these paintings have the roses, and so they make little pops of pink that add a lot to the picture. And then over here you can see that there's a little boat that's just like the kind that the workers used to use, and there's a hook showing you how they actually cut off the leaves that weren't wanted. I liked the boat because I found out that his daughters used to float around in the middle of the pond when the workers weren't using the boats, so they really enjoyed that form of relaxation. And it makes me feel very relaxed and happy, you know, to see all the colors and to look at the boat and the water and see all the reflections. So that's what's going on in these two paintings. So this painting is much more complex in that it's a close-up of the water lilies themselves, and it has several different things going on. First, you have the sky being reflected into the painting. You have the water lilies folding over each other. You have the cattails coming up through the lilies. You have some trees being reflected into the pond. So there are many different dimensions to the same painting, and they're all in different parts of your view. So it was very challenging to paint, but now it's one of my favorite ones, and it gave me a good chance to study how Monet uses color, because it turns out he only used 7 different tubes of paint. And that is a remarkable achievement to be able to get these beyond world-class colors out of such few tubes of paint. So I found out what tubes he used and used them myself, and had a lot of fun making that work. And so it was a great learning experience, and also just a wonderful way to make an engaging painting. So then the next painting was inspired by the boats again. This is a little boat dock here, and the boat is pulled up to it, and it just is a very great view of how he kind of used both the pink and the white to make things pop out from the background, and to have the boat just sort of resting in among the lilies as sort of a gentle reminder of a lovely summer day. Now this final painting over here has been commented on quite a bit. I wanted to do it because I was able to compose a scene where you have an upside down view of the wonderful willow trees reflected and weaving through the water lilies at the same time that you have these wonderful darks in here that show you the depth of the pond and also create the sensation that the water lilies are just floating there. So this was very compelling to a lot of people in our open house last night. So we had a lot of fun talking about that, and even the former head of the art department said he thought I had gone beyond Monet in creating this sensation of floating and up down. So of course I was thrilled with that. Every artist wants to go beyond his or her ideas. So that kind of made my night. So this is the final painting. It represents an evening view of the pond when the night shadows are gathering and the pond is a gorgeous deep blue. And then you still get the intensely green reflections of the willow trees. Also, the water lilies seem to kind of dance on the surface with their different colors, and there's a lot of energy in the brush strokes. So it gives you a completely different feeling in terms of the time of day and what kinds of effects you might be looking for. There are several layers of water lilies here, and they show the oval pattern quite clearly that I was speaking about before. And it's fun to look at them in different perspectives, you know, with the water lilies practically under your feet in the beginning and then way towards the horizon later on. So this is a favorite also.